Hi again folks, how is all doing? Here we have another old Hornby Black 5. This is a super detail model that was sent to me by Peter. He said it's never been serviced and it needs some attention here and there, and it's got a case of the wibbly wobblies. Let's turn on the power and see what happens. Yeah, the locomotive's certainly wobbling and it clearly needs a service. There's a bit of squeaking going on there. Let's get her into the shed and we'll have a look. Right, okay, Black 5. This is a Hornby Super Detail version. So it's loco driven, which is good. It's got pickups in the tender. The locomotive had a bit of weathering done. It's a wee bit oily and it's yeah, in dire need of a clean. Some serious fluffage in there. You can just see the fluffage on the ends of the pickups there. So we'll get all that cleaned out. The contacts on the drawbar are a bit mangled. This rod here is a bit bent. Probably won't affect the running. Because this was kind of running okay. The main issue is this wheel wobble, but whether it's coming from the rear axle, Peter said it was. This will have the sprung rear axle. There's certainly an awful lot of play in that, in all directions, but that's not necessarily the cause of the wobble. What we'll need to do is get the motor out and see if we can see what the cause of the wobble is. But we'll see. Let's get the body off this and we shall see what's what. I forgot to say there's cab door missing on there, but I think we've got it. Yeah, the cab door, a vacuum pipe, and I think the coupling on the tender is broken, so we can sort all that. There we go. You can see just how badly bent that rod is. We'll need to straighten that up. Seems to be okay on this side. Just take the front bogie off. We'll see what's going on under here. Yeah, way too much oil. Just lift these pickups out because they're going to need a good clean. Look at that. And this will be connected to the wire, of course. Just got to free up some slack in this wire. Like that. There we go. So now we can see what's going on in here. Just get these bearings in position. So they're held in. Yeah. We'll give this a clean up and we'll reassemble it and we'll see. Something might just have been a bit out of position on that rear axle. Yeah, it's in a bit of a mess. I think what we'll do is undo the rods and get the wheel set out. Only once everything is clean and reassembled will I look to see what the cause of the wobble is. So wheels out. Yeah, we'll give all that a good clean up. We'll give everything a good scoosh. Ooh, it's not working. There we go. That's dead. Oh, it's got another one though. Me, this is in a right old state. Right, I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to put these pickups in the sonic cleaner kind of difficult to clean them without bending them. So we'll give them a good go in the sonic cleaner, and then it'll be beer o'clock, I think. Okay, this is actually the next day. I've jumped forward a bit in time here. I've reassembled this. It's all been cleaned up and reassembled it. And get a look at this Wobble. Yeah, it's kind of hard to demonstrate it without a rolling road. It's one of the few occasions where a rolling road would be quite useful, so I could actually show you what's going on. But what's happening, this rear axle, you know, there's an awful lot of play on it, but that's not what's causing the wobble. The wobble is probably being caused by the gear. What happens with these, I've had this a couple of times, the gear, if you imagine that's the axle and that's the gear, if the gear's not perfectly straight, if it gets a little bit bent, so when it rotates, the gear's actually, you know, sort of just got a wee bit of a buckle in it. That causes this axle, the main drive axle, to wobble a wee bit, and that then, you know, gets passed on through the rods to the other wheels. And because this wheel is very loose, because of the sprung axle, it wobbles about. If you disengage the motor, I can actually show you this actually. If we disengage the motor, we'll put a wee bit of cocktail stick underneath the motor just to keep it in place. So now this will freewheel and it's absolutely fine, doesn't wobble. And that's because all the wheels are turning simultaneously. One isn't powering the other. They're all just getting, they're all just rolling along the track. But when power is applied from the motor to the middle wheel with the gear in it, that's introducing a little bit of wobble. So the solution is a replacement wheel set. You can't buy the middle drive wheel separately. I wish you could. So we've got to buy the whole wheel set. Motor's just falling out there. Fortunately, they're not expensive to buy, the wheel sets, so it's not an expensive repair. But I've encountered this a couple of times, and that's what sorts it. Just replace the wheel set. So Peter's agreed to replace the wheel set, so I'll get them ordered up. I'm going to order them from Lendon's, the cheapest source, but they are available from a few sources. Another issue is the drawbar. Now, I had a go at straightening the contacts and they just snapped. I kind of thought they were really, really bent over, and when you try and bend them back, they've just snapped off. Because this has got pickups on all 6 wheels, it's not really going to affect the running too much. And because we've still got the contacts there, it will still pick up from one side of the tender. So when the tender's attached, there'll still be some connectivity. It'll be absolutely fine. These drawbars are like hen's teeth to get hold of. There is one on eBay just now, but it cost me about 12 quid or something. If this was a tender-driven locomotive, that'd be a whole different issue. But because this is locomotive-driven, we've got pickups in all the wheels, it'll be absolutely fine. It's really not worth going to all the trouble and expense of trying to replace that. The other option would be to hardwire it, but as I say, it'll run absolutely fine. So Peter's agreed just to leave that alone. So I shall get that wheel set ordered up, and we'll revisit this in a few days' time. So this is actually a week later. It took a while for the wheel set to come from Lendon's. While I was waiting for the wheels, I did the repair on the Henry model in my last video, so it's been quite interesting working on both this and the Henry at the same time, because they're basically the same model. Anyway, this is the new wheel set, which I've just fitted. Got all the rods and everything connected up. I didn't bother filming it just to save a bit of time. I'm just going to fit the bottom plate. I've oiled the axles and everything. So let's just get this in, and then we'll see whether it wobbles or not. Right, okay, the wheels are in. Looking at the old drive axle, I don't actually see anything wrong with the gear. There's maybe a very slight buckle on the wheels, which I don't think is the cause of the wobble. It may be that the drive gear is a little bit out of position. You know, it just needs centered along with the intermediate gear a bit better. But I know from experience that trying to move one of these gears isn't a good idea. You know, they split very easily, and once you've moved them, they'll start slipping. So it's better just to replace the entire wheel set. But we shall see how the replacement wheels do. Let's get the test track out. Okay. That doesn't appear to be wobbling. That seems fine. So once again, a new wheel set has fixed that problem. We'll get some oil on the linkages and that. Very important to do this because we've got new wheels. Just work that in. Okay, so we'll put the front bogie on. I've already given it a clean up, and then we'll have a look at the tender. Some tape across there. Right, okay, that's done. Okay, so the tender, you can maybe see we've got quite a bit of fluffage going on. So we'll need to clean the pickups up. This coupling is broken. It's a bit of a weird one. I don't have a spare one of these. I was thinking of taking this one off the front bogie. It's actually been glued on. I tried taking that screw off, but no, it's been well glued on. So we'll see. Let's get this apart and cleaned up, and we'll see what we can do with it. Undo that, and undo that. Here we go. Probably not an awful lot of point in taking that body off, to be honest. I think I can get at everything through here. Right, that comes off. Great big clumps of fluff. And pull these wheels out. See how dirty these pickups are. Look at that. Right, we'll get a manky brush in here, and we'll give it a bit of a scoosh out. Of course, with the broken contacts on the drawbar, only one set of pickups is going to be getting used, but it's always good to clean it up anyway. Right, clean the wheels up. They're actually not bad. I'll give them a scoosh. The wheels back in. Now, what we're going to do with this coupling, I wonder if one of these would fit. Right, so if I put that on, and that's screwed in, is that going to clip in? Yes, that'll do. Tell you what I haven't done, is put a wee bit of oil in these axles. So this wee screw here fitted in there. With the old coupling, it went through it okay, but if I screw that into there, it's going to push that coupling up. So I need a longer screw. Let's try that. See if that goes. Perfect. So one last thing to do is to glue on these doors at the back of this cab. Spot of super glue on those. There we go. Right, we'll get the body on, which can be a bit of a pain in the neck for these models. There's two little lugs there and there that fit into two little holes there and there, but you know, the wires connecting to the drawbar can get in the way and inhibit it, and if you don't get the chassis in right, you can't screw it at the front, and yeah, it can be fun. Right, get that down in there. So I think we're okay as far as the wires are concerned, so hopefully, yeah, that's clicked in. But I've had trouble in the past with these models. I usually edit it out, but sometimes there's a bit of cursing and swearing trying to get the body back on with these. I hate slot head screws. Right, that's in. I think we're done. Just when I thought I was done, I've just knocked that cab door off. Yeah, I think we'll put a wee bit of epoxy on that actually. Don't like using epoxy when all you need is a tiny wee amount though, but never mind. A wee bit on there. A wee bit on there. Just adding on wee blobs of epoxy on the joins just to add a little bit extra strength. Right, we shall let that set and then we'll pull it out the shed. Okay then, let's bring it out. So there we go, that's Peter's Black 5 sorted out. It can be very tricky to diagnose the cause of wobbling in a steam locomotive model, but with these Hornby Railroad and Super Detail models from this era, they often seem to suffer from this weird issue with the drive wheel and the gear. I've never been able to specifically identify what the problem is, but I suspect it's the way the drive gear wears over time and starts to pull the drive wheels in one direction at times, causing it to wobble, especially if the bearings aren't perfect, which they never are in these models. There's far too much play, which will result in any imperfection in the drive mechanism having a knock-on effect, and you end up with the wibbly wobblies. That's what I think anyway. I've solved this wobbling issue in about 5 of these Railroad and Super Detail models now, and each time replacing the wheel set sorted it. So there's clearly something happening to the drive gear over time, I think. The broken pickups on the drawbar will not make any difference to the running unless an issue with the pickups on the locomotive occurs. It's always good to have as many pickups as possible, but to be honest, these drawbars with contacts on them on a loco-driven model are a bit of a pain, and I think if this was my model, I'd just hardwire the tender to the locomotive and be done with it. Righto, another Black 5 sorted. I'll need to go back through my records and see what locomotive I have repaired the most. I'm pretty sure it'll be between the Black 5 and the Class 37. Anyway, I shall get this packed up and sent back to Peter. Catch you later, folks.